Let's check in with Turning Point's White House correspondent Monica Paige, who apparently is in an oven today because Washington, D.C. and the entire East Coast is so hot that it can only be one thing. Monica, what are the libs? What are the libs going to blame this on? It's not summer, by the way. You can check your calendar. It's not that
Right.
summer's hot. It is,
Global warming.
of
It's
course.
climate change, you guys. We're now in a
Um,
heat dome. That's what they're all saying. This is unprecedented levels of heat.
Yes,
So,
which is
yep.
caused by, I don't know, a bunch of people driving cars that aren't Teslas, but not Teslas because sorry, random tangent that I wasn't expecting to get off on. But Monica, another slow day in Washington, D.C. Of course, I kid. President Trump is going to NATO. Can I kind of as a preview of that, or what's the expectation there that the White House is saying? Fill us in.
Yep, of course, the president meeting with world leaders today, convening at this, what may be a very consequential NATO summit. Of course, the main topic being Iran and Israel, Russia, Ukraine, also talking about military defense spending. The US has really been bearing the brunt of a lot of the military spending, especially as it pertains to Russia and Ukraine. And now President Trump and allies are now kind of urging each other to up that from 2% GDP to 5%. So everyone's kind of got to pay their fair share when it comes to military spending. 3.5% of that 5% will go to pure military investments. That other 1.5% will go towards cybersecurity and also intelligence. So that's kind of the main focus. There will be sideline talks, as we heard from the president today on his Air Force One gaggle, saying that he does plan to speak to Ukrainian President Zelensky and kind of talk about the really difficult situation that he's been dealing with. Of course, Russia kind of refuses to come to the table and figure out a solution to this war that's been ongoing. President Trump also leaked that he did speak to Russian President Vladimir Putin. So trying to get these two sides to come together and figure out some kind of reasonable, solution to this, as it's been years at this point.
Yeah, Monica, I don't want to dig into this too much because this current situation is evolving hour by hour, if not minute by minute, and I think people are well aware that this specific part is not actually live. It's light at the White House. It airs at 10 p.m. East Coast. But aside from the fact that things might change in the next hour or two by the time this thing airs, what's going on with President Trump re Iran Israel? President Trump obviously was a little bit fiery this morning with reporters, specifically PNN, wow, Freudian slip. CNN, what are your thoughts?
Well, of course, as things change here hour by hour, like you just mentioned, one thing that doesn't change is President Trump's opinion on CNN and MSDNC and all the other media outlets that he usually kind of rips on a day-to-day basis. But, CNN and these mainstream media outlets have been getting this wrong. They clearly do not listen to what the president is saying. And when they do, they take bits and pieces. They cherry pick what the president is saying and put it into a whole other context. What the president is saying that he wants peace. And the reason why he was so fired up this morning is because he was expecting that both sides would hold on to this ceasefire agreement. So we'll see how this plays out in the long run. But at the end of the day, it really appears to be a he said, she said kind of thing. Israel trying to get its last couple bombs in before the ceasefire agreement came through. And of course, Iran retaliating. So as we know, in Israel, the stay at home kind of order and lockdown order has been lifted. So people can be out in public, they can go to school, they can go to work now. So that's a very good news coming out of Israel. But when it comes to this war, I don't know what's going to happen, with what the president is thinking. He still has to have multiple meetings with different kinds of leaders. So we will definitely be keeping an eye on it. But like you have been saying, Jobob, when we find out, we'll all find out together.
Yeah, I think people are aware this is not the show. We talk about a lot of very important things, but in terms of breaking news, go follow Monica Page on Twitter. That's where, or X, sorry, that's where all the breaking news stuff will actually happen. Or find another. Follow Charlie. So follow somebody on the internet. That's the way to go. Hour by hour could change minute by minute. So, Monica, thanks so much for taking the time. Stay cool out there.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.